Jason adjusted his headset, his fingers steady on the controls as the plane soared above the clouds. It was supposed to be a routine flight, clear skies, calm air, nothing unusual. But then, a sudden loud bang echoed from outside the cockpit. His head snapped toward the window. Dozens of dark shapes were closing in fast. "Birds?" he muttered, disbelief written across his face. At first, it looked like a small flock, but within seconds, the sky filled with wings black, swirling and chaotic. The co-pilot, Jimmy, leaned forward. "Jason, they're everywhere." Jason tightened his grip on the yoke, his training kicking in. "Stay calm. We'll rise above them." He pulled the nose up, climbing through the thin white mist, but the birds followed. The harder he tried to shake them, the more aggressive they became, ramming into the fuselage, scraping the windows. In the cabin, passengers gasped as the sunlight dimmed, blocked by a moving wall of feathers. The sky had turned dark, the plane shuddering under the assault. Jason tried to radio flight control, but all he heard was static. "Tower, this is Flight 247. We're under attack by—" Silent, no response. The situation worsened. The windshield was smeared with feathers and blood, and small cracks were forming near the cockpit windows. Jason's jaw tightened. If even one bird hits the engine— He didn't finish the sentence. He could already feel the drag the plane was slowing. The passengers screamed as the aircraft tilted downward. Buildings appeared below, tiny at first, then rapidly growing larger. Jimmy's voice broke. "We're losing altitude!" Jason's instincts took over. "We're heading for the countryside. I can't risk hitting the city." He banked the plane sharply, the engines roaring in protest. The passengers were thrown against their seats as alarms blared. Somewhere in the chaos, a child cried, and a woman whispered a prayer. Finally, through the radio static, a faint voice broke through. "Flight 247, divert to Ashfield Airstrip. Emergency crews are on standby. Repeat, land at Ashfield." Jason exhaled shakily. "Copy that." But as they approached open fields, the nightmare deepened. From the forest ahead, another wave of birds erupted, even denser than before, drawn to the sound of the engines. It was like nature itself had turned on them. The first impact came hard, a deafening thud. The entire cockpit rattled. Then another, louder, this time. Jimmy's eyes widened in horror. "Engine 2's hit!" A plume of fire erupted from the right wing. The plane lurched violently as Jason fought to regain control. "Brace!" he yelled. Everyone brace. The plane was falling fast now, alarms wailing as smoke poured from the burning engine. Jason's heart pounded. Then, through the chaos, he spotted a wide stretch of open water glimmering beneath the clouds. It was risky, but it was their only hope. "We're landing in the lake!" he shouted. The passengers screamed as the plane skimmed the treetops. Jason pulled back with everything he had. The water rushed up, and then, with a crushing impact, the aircraft slammed into it. Waves exploded around them, metal groaning and bending. But miraculously, the plane stayed in one piece. For a moment there was silence, broken only by sobs and the distant cry of birds. Jason forced open the emergency exit, yelling, "Everyone out! Move!" The crew guided terrified passengers into the water as Coast Guard boats rushed toward them. But even as they floated to safety, the sky above was alive with black wing. The birds were circling the sinking plane, refusing to leave it. When the Coast Guard approached the wreck, the birds dove at them, screeching wildly. "They're protecting something," Jason whispered. Once the noise cannons were used to drive the birds away, rescue teams entered the wreckage. Deep in the cargo hold, they found a cracked suitcase. Inside were several cages filled with exotic birds, trembling and half-starved. Jason's eyes widened. They were calling for help. The smuggler responsible, a passenger with fake documents, was arrested on the spot. The wild birds had attacked, not out of malice, but to free their kind. At the trial, Jason testified through tears. They weren't trying to kill us. They were trying to save them. Nature had spoken that day in wings, in chaos, and in mercy.